cracking.
Welcome back, everybody, here after our short break to the D2CL. We are here for game number 3 of the Alliance going up against Team VirtusPro. Game number 2, hell of a cracker, Cap, but let's get ourselves straight into the draft. We're not going to wait for this one.
Yeah, we got a lot of draft to get under, and Alliance will just get straight into it, right? Alliance, they banned out the Dazzle and the Ancient Apparition. We had the Furion and Lycan being banned away by VP. No surprise, same old standard bans we've seen out of VP every single game so far. Batrider and Lifesteal was picked up by VirtusPro. Meanwhile, Invoker and Chen was grabbed by Alliance. We have Silencer, Disruptor being banned away by Alliance. Don't want to deal with those silences again, so they take away 2 of the primary targets and those supports. Clockwork and the Doom were banned out by VP. They go ahead and pick up the Crystal Maiden here, and they do have this kind of looking to be a pretty aggressive mid-game oriented lineup, but Alliance have just tipped their hand. They're going to push strat. They already had the Chen. They pick up the Venomancer, a little bit more pushing, just not. It's very, very subtle that Venomancer is going to be part of this push strat, and then they go all in with the Pugna. Pugna is a hero. The reason we call it an all-in push strat is because Pugna is a hero who has a terrible win rate after 25 minutes. He really, really falls off. Now, there is the possibility that you can run a Pugna push strat in order to ensure yourself an early game advantage, get in a lot of that gold, and you can run maybe a harder carry off of that. But I have yet to really see that possibility. Most Pugna drafts are completely all in. They're extended slightly by the rise of Necronomicons, and especially if they were able to pick up something like a Drow Ranger or a Lycan here, you could see the possibility of that push being pushed out to like 35 minutes. But it's still going to be a very, very time-oriented push strategy coming out from Alliance.
Yeah, I'm feeling the same kind of thing. This reminds me of a draft they did a little bit earlier today, but that means we'll see a lone Druid band coming out here from NS as their final one. Because it's like the Admiral Bulldog offlane. You're talking about the transition to come in a little bit later. You want to give like a huge injection of money into a team like Alliance through the Pugna. Then exactly. And NS feels exactly what I'm feeling too. That would have been so ridiculous to deal with. Even though Lifestealer sometimes likes playing up against a lone Druid because it's more life points to steal out, getting entangled or the potential of a Basher or going up against an AC on a pair because you got this huge amount of money so early on, you got no control over him anymore. Lifestealer just gets shredded apart. So yeah, in this case, they had to remove it out, which means now there's no great off-lane pusher as such. And I am interested to see how Alliance deal with this one.
5 seconds
well,
remaining.
the one way they could deal with this is trying to switch up the lanes a little bit. I'm trying to see a possibility if the Alliance can run an aggressive tri lane in any way, but right now VP, if you run an aggressive tri lane, they already have a Lifestealer Crystal Maiden in the pool. Like that is already really, really tough to go up against. And you throw down your 5th hero and you tell VP we're running an aggressive tri lane. VirtusPro just go ahead and pick up. They are really, really good support to be able another good strong laning support, and they could just absolutely wreck you, and the game would be over before it even started. So it should still be defensive tri lane, Pugna farming, and it has to be an offlaner. But Slark, wow, this was not the hero I was expecting out of them.
Wait, hang on. I suppose at the end of the day, the controlling abilities of VP, Slark can break free of almost every single one. With the right timing, he can break through of even Lasso if you can see it coming from just a short second in front.
But VirtusPro still have a 5th pick, and they still have a support to pick up.
That's, well, maybe. If this Nyx isn't in fact an offlaner right now, but then again, no, there's so many offlaners have already been banned out that it's got to be an offlaner Nyx Assassin or Batrider either way.
An Nyx Assassin is too strong versus an Invoker and a Pugna for you to let him get gimped in levels like that. You want that maxed out mana burn.
So you got to push him to the mid lane then. You put Batrider towards the off lane, then Lifestealer, Crystal Maiden +1.
Yes.
So in my mind, I would have gone straight for the Rubik as far as this game went. And the main reason being, I'm still looking for the counter push. I'm still looking for the way where they can pull the creep wave off the tower. I know it's difficult to do when you can have a Chen army on the front lines, and then like Venoman's a wall of wards as well. but they need something. And the only other option which came to my mind was a Keeper of the Light, and he doesn't fit with the lineup.
You can't focus on pushing creeps off. Now I'm interested to see, because this could still be a Nyx Assassin offlane. It's entirely possible. Run the Batrider mid. I don't think that's a bad idea. And they may be going for that here. But the Visage, extra damage against squishy heroes like Venomancer, Pugna, even Slark and Invoker are not known for their survivability. So I do like this pickup. It makes it so the offlane Slark will still be fine. However, I'm not really convinced about the offlane Slark. I am not convinced that this is going to work well for Alliance. This push strategy, I would have expected more of a team fight oriented hero, but Slark is really good versus Lifestealer though. That is the one really good thing, is that with his ultimate, they have little AoE to be able to keep him down. They have the Impale and they have the Crystal Maiden.
What are you going to do? Like initiate with all those slows, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, I'm just going to like shrug it off, and then move into the wonderful world of Pounce. And yeah, they don't have enough control. They do not have enough control to kill off a Slark. And this now means that on the bottom lane, even then, like what are you going to do? You're going to commit all these support heroes to try and shut down the Slark when you've got a Pugna and a Chen knocking on your tier 1 tower in the bottom lane. And with the lineup they've basically got to commit 2 heroes at least to keep that bottom lane alive without starting to feed their own players. Because the second they just like TP one hero down into this region to hold on top of the tower, your Chen will loop up through the rear here and then just attack from behind.
Yeah.
So that there's nowhere safe. It's almost better for VP to either run a full aggro tri-lane on bottom, or just to abandon the tier 1 tower in the bottom lane. And when it hits the tier 2 tower, then do something about it.
Yeah, I agree with both of those situations. And it looks like they are going to be running an aggressive tri-lane, which is really interesting. With the Nyx Assassin, you're going to ensure that he gets, you may be splitting it 3 ways, but at least you're getting some experience. You do have a decently strong tri-lane with these double nukes coming out from 2 different heroes, the Crystal Maiden and the Nyx Assassin. You're pretty much ensuring that Visage is going to have a max soul assumption every single time you go on a hero. And even if it is a Venomancer and Chen, I still see that this aggressive tri-lane can fight. And that is the biggest thing. VirtusPro needed to pick up a lineup that was designed to fight, not turtle. Because you can't turtle very well versus Pugna drafts. That is the biggest issue with him, that it's not really minion dependent at all. And look at this, VirtusPro, they're right now sitting on the side waiting for Venomancer to try and go around and pick off the Nyx Assassin from behind. And when he does that, he's going to run into the support combo.
Second that happens, man. Second that happens. And it's going to be... this lane, I almost don't want to look at the bottom lane for now. Even though I probably should, because the Satyr is moving over now. But I want to keep my eyes on this mid lane before the bottom lane really starts to erupt. So, Invoker going up against a Batrider. Mr. Firefly up against 8 Napalm stacks over on S4. But that Cold Snap really restricts the movements of God. He never even reached Invoker with the Firefly to dish out the bonus damage. And he just lost his 8 Napalm stacks. I'm surprised S4 didn't even pick up an early an early wand here in the middle lane.
He kind of needs, though, that Blades of Attack, though, because his attack damage is so poor
because he's going Quas early on, too.
Yeah, because he's going to Quas build. Basically, what that was a game of chicken. That was a game of chicken, and S4 stood there strong, fought up against the Batrider, and forced him to back down rather than the other way around, because you do not want to take that amount of Firefly damage when you have so many sticky Napalm stacks. So really good use there of Cold Snap, especially when the creeps are aggroing onto him. Well played by S4. I think he's doing a really great job in his lane so far.
And now Loader, look how close he's getting. He drops down the Nether Ward, almost forcing him to fire, because the Gale, it connects on NS as well as Arsat. They're really slowed up right now, but Arsat, again, good stunts coming out from him. But Pugna Blast and one last attack from Loader ensures the kill. They could have actually attempted to denial them because the Gale was out over on him, but they decided not to do it in the end. And First Blood goes the way of Team Alliance.
This is smart. Alliance go for the team fight. They bring the Chen in right away before VP pick up their level 2. Like, as soon as we saw level 2 on those 2 supports, they give so much more dangerous. But we had no Soul Assumption up for Jotum. And because of that, there was just no kill potential whatsoever. I mean, if you had a Soul Assumption, maxed out Soul Assumption up against that Pugna, you could have traded kill for kill. He's so squishy. But Alliance take this early advantage because they're pressing it. they take an early advantage while the supports are still level 1 apiece. Still, though, I do like the idea of what VirtusPro is doing here, because look at the levels on Smile right now. He is very, very far ahead. In what would normally be an off-lane Nyx Assassin up against a Venomancer, one of the most fearsome laning supports to kick out off-laners, he would have no experience right now. So I'm still good with this. They're freeing up a lot of free farm to a Slark, though. And that is the other bad thing, is that Slark is 11-0 compared to the 16-1. He is obviously doing much better than he normally would as an offlaner as well. So it's a dangerous game that they're playing right now. But I do really value the Nyx Assassin up against an Invoker and a Pugna, two relatively squishy but high intelligence heroes.
In they come on the Bat Rider. The Cold Snap set him up perfectly with a Tornado. Buys the time for the Sentinel to get in position, so they fight from both the low ground and the high ground. And it's a beautiful thing to watch RK's chant again, especially when you can combine it so well, like the synergy between him and S4 and that middle lane. It made that gank look so easy.
No, yeah, the fact that he just completely waited out, not only Cold Snap, but the Tornado as well. That was just good communication, just saying, hey, wait for me to throw down the Tornado before you try and throw down a Centaur stun. It'll be much easier setup. Because of that, they just easily kill down Bat Rider, and God, now Suffering is not going to be able to have that really fast Blink Dagger we want to see, because we need team fight. We need to be able to have that Nake's Bomb up in order for them to jump on the Pugna.
And what else are you going to get it from? Arsad on this bottom lane. Right now with Jottam as well as NS down here, they've really had to babysit him very, very heavily, which means now Smile, he's going to hit that level 6 a little bit later. Like, Lifesteal is approaching his level 6 rather quickly, and he's almost at a point, too, where Admiral Bulldog will consider a rotation towards that bottom lane to try and get a counter gank.
Yeah. And I love the way the supports are doing this. I mean, they're gimping themselves pretty heavily, but they're giving so much to experience to Nyx Assassin. Once he hits level 4, he can practically solo Pugna. Because think about what a Pugna does. When he tries to pick up CS, he goes forward, he throws down a Nether Blast. That is like one of the most obvious abilities to throw down a Spike Carapace. He does a lot of damage back to Loda and then sets his own self up for an Impale. And then a Mana Burn on top of that, that is like 600 damage of nukes just right there. So now the supports are rotating out. Now that they know Nyx Assassin level 4, he has boots, he has pretty good survivability. He still has to play pretty scared up against the Venomancer, but being level 4 should be good enough to keep him alive.
Admirable Duck. When you have a lifesteal that runs away from this, shift that essence, shift that essence. And Illidan sits at half his life points. This is a lifestealer that's moving in such a manner that
he's baiting it.
Yeah, he's looking like he's actually panicked from this, but then he turns around, does a little bit of extra damage. He's got Infest. He knows he wants to fight hard. And this is the reason why. NS in the tree line. But then again, NS can't lock down Admiral Bulldog. He's not a good enough support hero for that.
True. But if Illidan was able to put Admiral Bulldog low enough, with the Infest as well as the nukes coming in from Crystal Maiden, there's a possibility they could burst him down.
It wouldn't just be the break free, but
exactly.
It'll be rough anyway. Smile is watching this bottom lane closely, but Loda's now in range to get his first good blast out in that tier 1 tower. It's going to fold up. Nice stun, but then Gale, and then Ward. Blast!
Oh, look at the damage! You can't Nether Blast him! You cannot Nether Blast a Nyx Assassin! Don't do it!
That's not the first time that's happened either.
No, it's not.
Loda did exactly the same thing underneath his own tier 1 tower. Now Admiral Bulldog, he's in way too deep right now. He's leaping up, he's trying to kill off Jottam, but he's in so damn close. He goes inside the Shadow Dance, one more attack, he gets the kill. Through the tree line, NS, now he's going to Dark Pact, breaks free very, very quickly. Pounce, not enough mana for it. No wand charges because he doesn't have a wand. So, gets the kill. Looks like a getaway to safety though. There's no Infest follow-up damage from Illidan. There's no open wounds. And the TP, it was coming towards the top lane, but didn't require because there was no dive through. But Pugna does return to bottom lane with the Chen army, and they finally bring down that tier 1 tower. While S4's been chilling in the middle lane. Bat Rider also moved jungle and just started farming that up. He's just given up on mid.
Yeah, and I think this is about the point in time where you start recovering on your supports, put one of them middle. Try and pick up some experience because you're really, really lacking right now. You can't defend this tier 2. You just can't. Nyx Assassin can pick up experience, but they don't have the power right now because they gimp their supports early. In exchange for the Nyx Assassin having farm, they make sure that Nyx Assassin survives in lane, but they sure as hell can't defend towers. Yeah. So they just got to give that up. That's fine. You expect a Pugna to take your tier 2s. A little early for it, but that's okay.
What's Smile supposed to do? Like, he's coming down here starting at the creep wave, but there's an army of level 3 Plague Wards, which are forcing down the tower too. He's thinking about the denial right there. But that was never going to work, so Loader will be sent back to base. So he can basically start up. Well, then again, what does he start up? Do we even look at an Aghanim Scepter rush up for him? It should be normally a mech if they're trying to force this out a little bit earlier on. But with the Chen on the field with 1,200 gold too, it could be Arcade doing it as well.
I would say, yeah, let the Chen go for the mech and start going for Necronomicon.
Arcade gets Angie boosters and point booster for Loader. He's going Aghanim's rush, man. I think mainly the thing is he's trying to keep Lifestealer away from the fights. I got a funny feeling that's his primary goal right now. At all times, he's just going to be focusing down that Lifestealer. Make it so much, like, not worthwhile being on the front lines.
At the same time, Point Booster is just a really good stat item at the same time. It gives you a good amount of health as well as extra mana to be able to work around. And that's the only thing stopping their push, as long as they have the sustain of mana, and that's why you see Chen picking up mana boots as well as Loda.
Admiral Bulldog, trouble on top lane. Vendetta, follow-up stun, but he got inside the Shadow Dance, which means they can't follow it up. He'll have to die packed up quickly as well, but then again, he only had enough mana for a leap away with that mana burn coming from Arsat. But he didn't get it off fast enough to get the lockdown in time. So that means Admiral Bulldog escapes the Vendetta attack, and then the rotation comes in towards middle lane. 4 heroes again. With a double arcane boost these guys are running, or actually I should say triple arcane boots these guys are running, the Plague Wards are never ending. They don't care about feeding gold and experience through these things right now. They're getting such a good position in the front lines. The Centaur instantly stuns up Illidan as well. The second he arrived, the Plague Ward focused the tower. Too late. But EMP Tornado, Smile, it loses mana. The Spike Carapace wore out just a little bit too early. And I think Alliance want to try and force this even further. And it's just hovering around the sidelines.
They have the Blink. This is their go. This is their go for VirtusPro. They couldn't defend before, but now Blink is up.
Well, there it is. They jump in, but EGM, they pick off a Venom into the hand of God. Not enough to get him away to safety, but maybe they consider a return into this fight. Because, yep, there goes Admiral Bulldog. He didn't get the leap, but the EMP Tornado hitting from the fall. The Spike Carapace comes up. Again, a little bit of mistiming on that one. Admiral Bulldog riding close. There's your drain going into the Crystal Maiden. Low to a copper solar sunch, but he doesn't really care right now. He's still enough life points to survive. Flame Break is keeping him low, though, with 2 sticky napalm charges on him. Admiral Bulldog made sure that VP had no other support that could follow up apart from, what, a Lifestealer? He can't get in close enough right now. He went treads, not phase boots. He couldn't get back into the fight fast enough.
So with this sort of strategy coming out from Alliance, the biggest danger is that you get initiated on before you're ready for it. So what VirtusPro really need to do here is start using that Nake's Bomb really, really aggressively. The moment they see Alliance start setting up on a lane, they need to jump on them before they get to the tower, because if you're jumping and you're blowing, even if you jump and grab the Pugna, which is pretty much the best hero you can right now, even if you jump and grab him, you're still taking all that extra damage from his ward.
Top lane.
They need to kill him before that happens.
Support needs to TP in if Smile wants to get a kill. He might consider just trying to snipe out EGM, but Cold Snap's going to make... No, she's got enough damage. I underestimated that Vendetta hit into a 4-level Impale.
Yeah, especially with EGM already taking a couple hits from the tower. Very, very simple kill. However, it's still going to be Admiral Bulldog farming up bottom. We do have the push starting to set up, though, for Alliance, and I think VirtusPro got to converge on this.
Yeah. If they don't stop this, man, they're going to find themselves with no outer towers and nowhere to farm and nowhere to feel safe. And with the Nether Ward already being put down by Loader just in range of the tower, it's not taking him too long to nuke it down, but they are bringing 4 heroes now towards the top lane. We're still missing 1. And that's shot him on the bottom lane, but a TP scroll has just arrived. So he'll TP to the tier 1 tower with an EMP burn. Going to come the way of Illidan. He had to rage up. Fortifications also used while Smile getting caught out on the side. He's being galed up in Poison Sting. It's a 2-man stun, but Admiral Bulldog quickly out of it with a Dark Pact. Moves up, and now he has to go inside the Shadow Dance. And, well, Vendetta's available. And he does go into it. Moving around the corner, Sentry Ward, does EGM throw it? Yes, he does. They see Arsat attack him. The ulti, it didn't hit him. The Gale as well, it also fell short as they jump in on S4. They'll kill off instantly the Invoker because of this. Loader, though, still hiding a little bit higher up. He's got his 4 levels up in the blast. Going to go on NSTP out, but Admiral Bulldog just slams him once across the cheek. And Crystal Maiden will go down while the rest of them try and blink away. Admiral Bulldog, one last leap. So close to John, a double kill. Knew he could just extend himself far enough to get that one. And now 2.2k gold over on Admiral Bulldog.
Can't fight under the ward. You cannot fight under the ward. You want to know how the Nyx Assassin died? Trying to throw an impale. He was sitting there in his Vendetta. He was fine. He outran the Venomancer and all those abilities that were thrown at him. Great, grand, perfect. He turns back into the team fight, tries to throw an impale, and dies before he can get it off because there was a ward up. These guys gotta try and get their jump on the Pugna. Kill him very quickly. Make sure that ward is not down because otherwise you're fighting underneath it and there's just no way you can win that team fight, I don't think. You've got too many abilities you're throwing around and your heroes are relatively squishy. So I don't know if that means Lifestealer, when he sees the ward, he immediately rages up and targets it or what. But they gotta do something different here. Not sure how, but Venomancer was tasted, and they still managed to kill him. I think it looked like Crystal Maiden threw a Crystal Nova over the cliff and managed to snag him as he grabbed the ward. Or the rune, sorry.
Either way, I ended up missing that one too, as I'm still checking out some tech things. It just seems like yeah, we need everybody else's help to actually let people know this live stream is still up and running again. We've gone back to the old servers if you weren't aware, but the API for Dailymotion has gone down. So we're currently appearing offline on all websites, including Join Dota. But you can still click the live stream link and it will appear there. It's just the API is down, not the live stream. If your friends are wondering what's going on.
Armlet is up for Lifestealer, so getting a little bit of extra damage when you go for that Egg Bomb, definitely necessary. However, the Pugna begins to be a really, really big problem. And Loda, very, very smartly, not maxing out the Nether Ward just yet, gets that one level of Decrepify, which is huge. And look at that! Got it! Point booster stat item, now going for the Necro Book.
You feel good about yourself now, don't you?
I do.
I actually saw it before, but I wasn't going to really like...
Yeah, you didn't want to point out.
No.
You were wrong.
No, because then I'd have to admit that. I don't want to admit that to you, Cap.
Blink Dagger
I'm never
soon.
wrong. I'm only slightly off.
Yeah. Blink Dagger on Nyx Assassin is also going to be really good jump in. That'll be really, really strong. You can lead with a jump, spike, carapace, and impale because you know you're probably going to be taking damage. You get a good mana burn off if you can retreat from that fight after that and then reinsert with another good mana burn. I mean, look at Nyx Assassin right now. He only has one level of spike carapace. That's how important mana burn is to him. Because a five times your intelligence, that's a 200 over 250 damage on
top lane. Loda. It's the blink into the infest with a lockdown. Even with that ward in position, they can actually try and go for an EMP Tornado, and with a cold snap, Sergey's not looking too great here. He may even go down. One more attack. There she blows. So it's a Bat Rider at the end of the day for a Pugna. And now Admiral Bulldog comes back in again. They put down the sentry wall, but his damage output is insane. With Shadow Dance as well, he's going to get one more. It's a double kill for Admiral Bulldog. EGM's coming in to help. Illidan is going to try and TP away. Familiar drop down, trying to buy in the space, but he can't do it. Admiral Bulldog gets a triple kill on top lane. And all of a sudden, 3 turns 1. And Pugna becomes a support hero.
Admiral Bulldog, man, I really thought...
Okay, can he do this solo? Sentry Ward, Smile, he gets a 3-man stun, Vendetta hit, there's Centaur stuns, there's number 1, and now there's going to be number 2. Get out of there, RK. You know you got to, but with the creep wave, he knew he could block up this small little part here, so Smile couldn't follow up with the high damage. But RK really just, I think he's depressed he hasn't finished up that mech yet. He really needs that money. He really needs that extra heal to come into Alliance.
That would have been a good pick-off for him if he'd only had level 2 Vendetta, which he now has, but just a little late. As well as the Blink Dagger coming up. As Nyx Assassin, like, I think he's playing well so far, but this aggressive tri-lane that they ran, not worth it so far. Not worth it. Even though we have this high-level Nyx Assassin, it's not making the difference because it's basically comparing the Nyx Assassin to Bulldog. They could have shut down Bulldog really easily. However, they let him get farm in exchange for the Nyx Assassin getting farm, and Bulldog is obviously doing a lot better work.
I actually hadn't even looked properly at the net worth as well as like the graphs, but with Admiral Bulldog sitting at 7.6k, with the nearest one being 5.4k on the Dire side, he is light years ahead, to a point where they have a 4.5k experience advantage to Alliance, but it's almost reaching 10,000 gold advantage. Obviously, they are still 4 towers up right now, but still, that doesn't explain that kind of difference. And they're going to become 5 towers up. Mid-tier 2 tower drops. Pugna will be able to pick up the last hit, funnily enough, without blast. But they're going to lose their tier 1 tower in the bottom lane. Illidan as well as Sergey's here, but then again, no, they won't. They're pushing power to go high ground. It's so much bigger, especially when Arsan's already thrown out his stun. They bring in the Necro units. They keep the blast going. They want to force VP off their tier 1 towers and almost into a fight in this middle lane.
This is...
then again, they don't have to. There's a tier 2 tower in top lane. Why fight high ground when you can just win it?
Honestly, I'm going to get a little defeatist here for VirtusPro because the first time that you see a team, like the first couple of towers, fine. But once you have your big items up, your Blink Dagger, your initiation type items, to be able to jump in and intercept Alliance before they get on a tower. Like, once you start giving up towers without putting up a fight, that's when you pretty much know you've lost to
They're coming in. They're going to try and fight, man. Go straight on Loader with the Infest out. Loader, Hand of God. They didn't have enough heal to really keep him up with the EMP burn. NS, low on life. Admiral Bulldog just starts picking up the rear pieces and jot him into a cold snap. Super. I see Hyper. It's going to be Illidan going down. Already a great move coming out from S4. They've picked up 3 heroes. Now Admiral Bulldog's looking for more. Invokemon have picked up the Batrider. Good blink away from us at the right time, but they've just lost 4 heroes and a top tower for initiation on a Pugna. That was who they got the kill on, but that's not enough. Tornado doesn't connect. That could have been 5 heroes down right then. Without the Pugna pushing high ground, it's a little bit more difficult because they don't have Necros or the Blast, but they can still dish out a lot of damage with this Alliance lineup. And they forced fortification anyway. This is still a win. As long as they don't lose a hero, it's a win.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is the power of Pugna dress. Like we were talking about earlier, how he's really, really poor after 25 minutes. His win rate is really bad because Pugna push strats fall off really heavily about that point in time when BKBs start coming up. We have mobility items, like those sort of things start coming online. Pugna push strats completely fall apart. You either end the game by 25 or you probably lose. Well, the same kind of like how fragile that strategy feels, like saying 25 minutes or you lose, it's also really, really fragile for the enemy team. It works both ways because VirtusPro here, they make 1 or 2 mistakes in this Pugna draft, like this Pugna push strat will take so much gold out of the map away from you by being able to grab all those towers, take that map control, take away a whole bunch of, like the jungle is completely gone right now for VirtusPro. It's actually Alliance's jungle right now, and you can see the Venomancer, he's throwing wards all over the place, all over that jungle. You know, you take away all of that opportunity, you get so much gold on Alliance, you take away so much gold away from VirtusPro, and it all comes down to a couple mistakes. Their first time they had a Blink Dagger, they jumped on a Venomancer, and they got destroyed by the counter initiation of Alliance thanks to the ward. The same thing happened again in the next team fight. The ward was already down. They got destroyed time and time again from that Pugna ward. And because of that, they have little hope of being able to defend up against the inevitable uphill push coming in from Alliance.
Well, I think that push is about to arrive, man. But one thing it's not going to arrive with is the Venomancer. So I don't think they're ready to fight yet. This is going to be push out the lanes. I kind of feel like this is going to be a Roshan kind of movement. Yeah, Smile's coming down. His Vendetta's running out, though. He's only got like 2 seconds, 3 seconds left on it. So there it is. He gets the stun. He gets the mana burn.
Wow.
But EGM has drums as well as having an urn up his sleeve. He's got enough DPS that he can survive, enough life points he can survive, and they have to force the next assassin to fall back. Like, familiars are dropping outside the base as well. Jottam has there's no familiars for 80 seconds now. There's no familiars, there's no Vendetta.
That's rough.
The bottom tower will go down, but this is like their only major upside. With Venomancer returning towards the middle lane, let's go high ground.
Alliance aren't even at full strength here. They are still at Necrobook 1s for both him and... well, actually EGM doesn't have his yet, but he's going to have his Necrobook 1 soon. Yeah. You don't even have full Necrobooks up for this push squad, and they're still able to go uphill against you.
Oh, Pugna, man. You can see him. He's sitting down the hill, and with every hit, he takes off about 1/6 of the tower's life points. So all he's got to do is just keep putting out these blasts, pushes out the creep wave, pushes towards the tower. It's not as though he's running out of mana. He's now got his level 2 Necrobook up on him. And with the Saturn that's also here, they got the regeneration aura, they got the 3 arcane boots. So then there's no real problems. And Sergey, they got the Lasso, but Illidan, he's outside the base right now. S4, there's a Tornado. He's fighting up against the 2 supports. The EMP burn. I don't know if that's going to be enough to get the kill off here. In fact, it will not be, but Lime's still done outside the base. And Arrow Bulldog has jumped in. He's godlike. Chen with the Thunder Blast brings down the Nyx Assassin. But it's 2 for the price of 2. Hey, let's make it 3 for the price of 2. In favor of Admiral Bulldog, who picked up a double kill, and they take down the mid-tier tower. They don't have Pugna Blast to force us out quickly, but right now I don't think they care. Slark is almost finished up his Skadi. They're going to bring down the melee ranks in the middle lane. Batrider, he's got Firefly 4-staff out again, but there's no last suited latch onto Admiral Bulldog, and he Dark Packed just in case there was going to be initiation anyway. They just fall back. Admiral Bulldog can go back and try and finish up that Skadi of his. Means he needs a little bit more farm for it, which he can find on bottom lane if he really wants it. And then they just go in for another push on another lane at another date.
Yep, they picked out a decent amount of gold. They put VirtusPro before that 25-minute mark. They put VirtusPro at a serious disadvantage. They've already kind of crippled them with that middle racks going down. Now they can sit back a little bit. If they want to, they can sit back, farm up, finish off these Necrobook 3s, and that's when the real pushing game comes in, because you already have mech, you already have a lot of these big team fight items up. Hell, even Bulldog is going to go for a full carry here and pick up a Skadi pretty soon.
I know what Ake was doing just inside the river. All he was thinking was just like conga line. It's all he's really doing. And Loda joins it now. it's the conga line, man. Everyone brings a maraca if you're a centaur. Oh, yeah, Smile.
This is what they needed.
This could be a big kill right now, but they're running out of time again. Vendetta's going to wear off, and they're going to see Ake, and then Smile. He's still got the invis rune, doesn't he? But without the Vendetta burst damage at the start, I don't think they can get the kill, because then you're just going to open wounds yourself from Loda before the stun. Like, you got to start with the stun, and then he'll be able to get the Decrepit Fire for the last point and then just drain him out.
Yeah, thanks to the Necrobook 3 plus the point booster, he's got a good amount of health to be able to survive through the burst.
They found him. Blinks away very quickly. Tornado will fly over the top of the pit. Even sees the Courier for a split moment. And the Courier picks up the point booster now for Jotum.
Yeah, I can just think back through this game and so many missed opportunities for VirtusPro. It was all the right ideas. For example, the early gank on Admiral Bulldog, that would have been a really big pickoff for them. But they were just unable to burst him down in time.
Look at this. They're getting greedy. They're trying to kill off Roshan. And the S4 is going to EMP Tornado this top lane. The Tornado just came off cooldown as well. So there goes your Tornado. EMP. I'm not seeing the supports coming in. And in fact, with it blink away, nothing really happened apart from Invoker being able to deny that top tower. But now we have Slark with an Aegis the Immortal as well as Skadi. Good luck, VP. Good luck. They're going to try and crack this top lane, but S4 is already backed up. So they see Firefly on cooldown, which is why Admiral Bulldogs is making a straight-up beeline for this top lane. NSTP out, couldn't reach him in time. Sergey is being attacked. Blink Dagger is going to come off cooldown in 1 second time, and he gets it, but there's more support rotating in from the side. Well, there was. Chen got caught out, in fact. Illidan was able to get rid of at least the Chen, which means there was no cutoff to kill off God as he retreats through the top lane.
Yeah, VirtusPro are doing the right thing here, moving out aggressively on the enemy side of the map, not letting Alliance just take control and farm up. They're trying to get these pickoffs, however, it's and that's another really good thing about the Slark. I wasn't really sure about the Slark until we had an aggressive tri-lane and Slark was able to pick up early farm. Because Slark is now going to be able to abuse the fact that VirtusPro, they're looking for split push. It's their only hope right now. They picked a fighting lineup, couldn't win those fights, and now their only hope is just being able to split push and delay this game as much as possible. However, that leaves an opening where you're spread out, where Slark with the Shadow Blade is really, really good at picking off enemy heroes.
Yeah, take out the enemy heroes while they do that, you lose one, and then all of a sudden the double level 3 books.
Oh, bottom.
Oh, this could be a big pickup. Blink up, lasso. They're going to find Loader out of position. But remember, though, like, the kill on Loader is good, but he still keeps spending his money before the time he dies, and Slark keeps getting bigger. I hate to say it, man, but Loader's not the biggest thing.
What are those Russian dolls that you got a doll inside of
the
doll?
Babushka dolls.
That's what that was, pretty much. Did you see how they initiated that? Boots of Travel on Batrider, they teleported to the Visage Familiars, and all of a sudden the Familiars pop out.
Oh, EMP, Tornado right now, and Smile turn into a piglet, but this was blocked up by the dire creep wave. He couldn't get out to fight, which means he couldn't get in range to get his snap off, which means Admiral Bulldog couldn't get in range. And then no kills were had that day.
I think Alliance are done with this silly, like, trying to address the split push now.
Yeah.
Just go uphill. The problem is, where's our Pugna?
Oh, he's back at base. But he's going to TP to the T1 tower in mid. They're going to come now.
VirtusPro, the best thing they could have done is try and intercept him.
Yeah. They're not gonna find him in time. Now Alliance are 5-man. And this bottom lane split push is happening by the Familiar. So at least they might get a tier 2 Terran trade, but losing Rax for a tier 2 tower, not a worthy trade. Bad Rider, he's gone all in for this one. He's got the Mask of Madness, jumps in, he grabs EGM. So there'll be no Venomancer ultimate, but this time though, Loader got the ward down. Hand of God as well as Mech going to be used, and Admiral Bulldog, he's just tearing VP a new one, the backline. Same with S4. Control was perfect. Then deeper, over on top of Illidan. It's the man fight. It is basically the undead monster versus the Trout. And Admiral Bulldog with 16 life points survives, jumps away from the Familiars. 1v1 GG. Because even then, S4's deafening blast didn't help him at all.
It was just Bulldog being overly farmed, and even then he had an Aegis, so if he went down, no big deal. It still would have been Alliance taking this game, so really well done by Alliance. Good pushing strat. I was a little bit concerned about the Slark pickup, but it turned out to be really the difference maker for Alliance. Very, very strong. VirtusPro, I think they just had small issues with execution, maybe some missed timings here and there, but I think overall their strategy and their general idea of how to counter Alliance's push strat was solid. Pick up a big fighting lineup, try and get the initiation before Alliance set up on a tower, pick off one of those important heroes, whether it's an Invoker, Venomancer, or a Pugna, kill that hero, and then maybe you can win the team fight from there. And if you can stop pushes, I mean, if you win team fights, you stop pushes. You stop pushes, you stop that inflow of gold for Alliance, and VirtusPro easily make the comeback.
Yeah, man, this is... Let's have a break.
All right.
Let's have a break. It's been a rough night so far for everybody.
Too many.
Yeah.
Too many exciting games, too many rough tech issues.
Yeah. All right, we're going to be back. We're going to be back here in a moment. Stay tuned. We'll be back. The stream is up, by the way. The APIs are just down. Tell your friends. We'll be back.